So this is the late Victorian immigration, and we're focusing on the Aliens Act of 1905. So what the Aliens Act of 1905 really is it was an act meant to control immigration in the UK, mainly targeting people from Eastern Europe. It just restricted them from being able to immigrate and how many were able to at one time. Many people disagreed with this immigration, so they were calling Britain the dumping ground for the scum of Europe, the outside parts of Europe, and that was said at many rallies, and that was kind of like a motto. And it targeted the Jewish community from Eastern Europe because at this time there were many Jewish people immigrating to Britain. So this remained in act until 1919 when it was repealed. And this regarded Great Britain as well as Ireland. So not just Britain, because at the time Ireland was under its control, or the entirety of Ireland. In response to the fear of criminals and mass immigration into Britain, that's mainly what it was. It was kind of just a sentiment to how scared people really were of foreign people. Yes, and this was effectively supposed to deport non-citizens and criminals. So this wasn't just keeping people out, it was also kicking some people out.
There were prior Alien Acts before the Alien Act of 1905, going all the way back to 1793, where the first Alien Act was introduced by Lord Grenville. The original Alien Act was created to set order against the aliens who entered the country. The people classified as aliens were those who were attempting to disrupt the peace among the country. Earlier intentions of Alien Acts were focused more on the French Revolution. The Alien Acts were set to prevent any sort of political danger an outsider might bring to the country. Comparing the acts. The past acts were set to protect against the spies during the French Revolution, as well as those who were politically radical, regardless of where they were on the spectrum, and people whose main goal was to agitate. This was an issue because they would create scenes to try and engage as many people as possible in their riots to disrupt order. It was vital during the revolution to keep as many of these people out as possible to try and maintain a high level of peace, regardless of the revolution going on. The original purpose was not to supervise and monitor immigration, as it was in the 1905 Alien Act. The Alien Act of 1905 specifically targets the Jewish Eastern European immigrants. The differences between these two acts become very apparent regardless of them being under similar names.
During the Victorian era, contaminated blood created a fear of miscegenation or contamination for the British population. There were threatening masses of Eastern European immigrants, particularly Jews, migrating to London, which created xenophobia towards the Jewish population, as many British people feared that they would contaminate them. Because the Alien Act of 1905 controlled Jewish immigration to Eastern Europe, the fear of blood contamination was reduced, as Jews were thought to be the main group of people spreading the contamination.